Good morning and grab your cup. It's time for coffee with Kristin and Tina. Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Kristin and Tina. We're your hosts. This is Kristin Odell of Grow with KLO, and I'm Tina Prigge of Vagabond Creative Studio. So good to see you this morning.
Good
And
morning.
Kristin, I feel like we coordinated.
We did. I know. This buffalo plaid little dress I have kind of comes out in like October and like stays out maybe until like March, and then I feel like I have to put it away.
I almost don't wear a lot of red once the holidays are over. Like I have to
Really?
remind myself, like, okay, it's cool to wear red now, and then it just kind of falls out of my wardrobe.
See, I feel like red can hang in there because you know things like Labor Day and 4th of July and Memorial, like all of those lend themselves well to red.
Yeah, I totally agree. You're right, and I do pull it out for things like that. And I love red, but I just often don't wear it. I think maybe because it reminds me so much of the holidays.
Mhm. How about that fabulous green scarf you have?
Thanks. This was actually a present from my mom.
Aw.
Yeah.
Do you wear it all year round?
No, I often only wear it for the holidays too.
Really? That's so funny. Chris,
Chris
yeah,
said, "Good morning. Wear red always." Chris rocks the red, that is for sure.
especially the red lipstick. I feel like she is like the queen of red lipstick. It's so good. Looks so good on her.
We saw her at the symphony. We were at the symphony this weekend for their holiday performance, and if you look way in the background there, like right between my head and Jason's head, you can see Chris and Rick. They were emceeing, and she just had this gorgeous red ensemble on.
I love it. So fun. Okay, tell us how it was for those of us that didn't get to go to Manitowoc Symphony Orchestra. Tell holiday pops. How was it?
Holiday pops. I left completely in the holiday spirit. It was beautiful because the Capitol Civic Center Community Chorale, which is a bunch of singers under the direction of Jim and Susie Miller, they were on stage behind the symphony and they sang all of these, holiday favorites, all of like the classic Christmas carols that with the symphony. It was so beautiful. And then after they were off, like for the second half, it was all of these pieces from the Nutcracker by Tchaikovsky. And then the choir came back on. And oh, it was just, I was really moved. And
It
then
sounds amazing.
everyone applauded and the director went off the stage and everyone was still applauding and he came back on and he led the whole auditorium in a round of "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" played
Oh,
to the symphony. I was like, oh my gosh.
yes, that sounds amazing. Who knew? Maybe Chris knew. Who
Maybe
Manitowoc Symphony Orchestra would play encore?
I didn't.
Like, would you start chanting encore, encore the next time you go?
It seems like a very specific thing, right? Like to have that many people practice something together only on a whim. You know what I mean? Like to
Yeah.
not definitely plan to play it. That's kind of a big
You know what
ask.
it sounds like? It sounds like Christmas magic.
It was Christmas magic. You're right.
The spirit of Christmas, like, where else does that come from? That has to be what it is, right? Like,
Right.
very cool.
And and I think that was, the most moving part was everyone coming together, right? Like all of a sudden the lights coming up in the auditorium and now you're putting your voices together with everyone else that's there. I loved
So you mean you weren't singing along before they did that?
that. Well, I was recording, so I was trying to be as quiet as possible.
Ah, well played, well played. Tina, I know
Yes.
I've been featuring some different Christmas mugs along the or I should say holiday, 'cause they're not all Christmassy, but do you have holiday mugs you pull out at your house?
Do you know what? I have one that has all of these gnomes on it that is supposed to be a Christmas mug, but I use it all year because it's so cute. But this is my favorite one that I have right now, and it has all like these kind of Christmas macaroon cookies, and it
Yeah,
says the sweet life.
I love it. I love it.
So, hey, we were talking last time about your elf on the shelf, and you were saying that, maybe with COVID and everything, he might not be able to make it this year. Is that the case?
He's here. He is here. He's been so Broccoli, the elf, comes with Saint Nick and leaves with Santa Claus. And so he showed up and he's been moving around our house and he's been doing some different things this year. Like this morning, he's riding the reindeer in the kitchen like a horse. So it's always an adventure to see where Alfie is going to be.
So I would love to know, viewers, if you have an elf on the shelf getting up to mischief in your house, what are some of the things that he does? Kristen, do you document it? Do you take pictures every day?
I haven't thought about that, but maybe I should be. Because you know what else he did the other day? So I think this is 2 Christmases ago, Tina. You and Jason gave me this beautiful Santa statue. And just for comparison, like it's probably as tall as my head, maybe a little bit taller. And this year, instead of having him standing somewhere, I have him in the middle of a wreath in our kitchen. So the Santa's in the middle of the wreath. One of the days, Broccoli was clinging like arms around, legs around Santa Claus on the wreath. I should have taken a picture. I didn't think about it.
Fun. So do the girls, like when they wake up, is that the first thing they do?
100% yes. Yep. Yeah, one of the days last week, he was upstairs by their bedrooms and they missed him because he was hanging up high and they were looking all over. And then all of a sudden they were like, wait, he's right there.
That's so exciting. That is a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
it
So
is.
does Broccoli plan out his escapades in advance?
Heavens no.
Okay.
Not that I know of. How about that? Maybe
Nice.
maybe while he's hanging here during the day, he's like, "Ooh, that looks comfy," or "Ooh, that might be a fun spot to hang out for the day," or, I don't know.
Nice. So do the girls also do advent calendars?
We have done them in the past. We don't have them this year. We've had different versions of, the little chocolates where they get to open the door. A couple of years we had like Lego ones where you get to put these little like Lego figurines together. But we don't have one this year. Do you guys have an advent calendar?
So Teak actually is doing a Lego one. He's got a Lego Star Wars one. He
Say-
just loves that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always loved the chocolate ones, but the
Mhm.
trouble is, according to like my chocolate advent calendar, at this point there would be like 2 days left till Christmas. So
Yeah.
it's hard not to eat ahead, right? When it's the
Right.
chocolate.
Right. Well, and like the Christmas Eve door is always like the big door, meaning there's like a bigger chocolate in there. It's hard, especially as a kid, like hard to resist the little door.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I haven't personally done one in a while. I know we used to have one where it was something like, Velcroed. It was some kind of like little, maybe it was a tree and there were like Velcroed ornaments and you put a different one on each day,
Yeah.
which was kind of fun, but not the same as having chocolate.
Right. I've heard other people do things like they'll either buy books, different holiday books, or even just regular books in general, and like give one to their kids each day as kind of a way to count down. Or they'll go around and collect books maybe they haven't read in a while and wrap them and then give them one each day and they like read it as a family, which I think is a fun thing. I, for some reason, just never have like the forethought to go and do that. Like by the time I think about it, it's December 14th and
Yeah,
we're late.
yeah.
Uh, but
It
I
is
think
December 14th, and I'm hearing that idea for the first time, but it is such a good idea.
yeah. And like there's obviously other things like you can get beer and wine advent calendars. I saw it all the you can get a cheese advent calendar where there's like a different kind of cheese each day, right? So like there's so many ways you can do that.
So, a person that could plan ahead could really then have like snacks throughout the day. You could start off with chocolate, you could have a little cheese like at the end of the workday.
So you're saying instead of having one advent calendar, you would have like four and then have different things that happen throughout the day. Like, ooh, today I get the 14th chocolate. And then later you're like, ooh, I get the 14th cheese. And then, ooh, today I get the 14th wine.
There you go, right?
I see I like where you're going with this, Tina. On
Hey,
the subject.
speaking of delicious treats, did broccoli bring you these? Where did these delicious, beautiful, adorable things come from?
Broccoli did not bring these. Miss Katie from Bakery on State made these. And I just had to like send this picture to you and give them a shout out. So Nora turned 9 last week, sorry. I had to think for a second.
Oh,
We have 2 birthdays very close together, and they're a year
happy
apart.
birthday, Nora.
Yeah, so she turned, 9 last week, and we were talking about treats. It's a busy time of the year, and I was like, "I think I'm just gonna order cookies and not mess with, like, trying to bake treats." And she had friends over, and we were gonna do pizza and a movie, and the movie she picked was, like, Super Pets. And I said, like, "What kind of cookies?" And she was like, "I want puppies and kitties." So we found a picture online. Actually, I might even have it here in my trash can yet. Stay tuned. Hold on. Hold that thought. Um, and maybe not. I love it, Tina. That's perfect. So anyway, I literally sent a picture to Katie and said, like, this is what we would love. And she made it exactly like the picture.
What?
Like,
I mean, because look at how adorable, look at how, like, perfectly and delicately done these are.
they were amazing. Amazing. And I would also say, sometimes you get decorated cookies and they're beautiful, but they don't taste like it. They don't taste good. These were like my mom's cutout recipe. Buttery, like exactly like my mom's Christmas cookies, just made by somebody else. So
That's
good.
awesome.
So
That is awesome, and these came from Bakery on State?
yes. Yep.
Good to
It was
know.
amazing work with. We just literally worked over email, and she's like, "I will have them ready tonight," which was a Thursday night, and we were gonna pick them up Friday morning early, and they were ready, and as you can see, they were amazing.
Awesome. Was Nora surprised? Was she just like, "Oh my gosh."
She went with Doug and I to the we went there at, like, 6 o'clock in the morning to get them, and she was up, she was so excited, and we had decided that we were gonna let her pick donuts out, like, we're going to pick up cookies at 6 o'clock on a Friday morning. I think that means we need to start the day also with a donut. So we took her along, and she saw the box, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, they're so good." So, it was super fun.
Do you think there's a donut advent calendar?
Ooh, I don't know, but if there was, Doug would definitely participate in that.
And, that could be kind of fun, like, "Okay, Baker and State, here's just a little idea," right? Where you don't open the door at your house, you come to the bakery every
Mhm.
day, right? You participate in this program, and there's, like, a donut of the day.
I really like where this is going. I think you're onto something. I think it would bring, like, because who would go in and just get the one single donut every day, right? Or like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I've gotta go pick up my donut of the day. Maybe I'll just grab a loaf of bread today," right? Like, there's gonna be other support
Yeah.
purchases.
Right, right. While I'm here, I can also kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Right.
I like where this is going. It wouldn't even have to be a donut. Like, I would be happy to be like, I get a donut today, tomorrow's a cookie, the next day maybe would be a scone. Like, how fun would that be?
Yeah, I love it.
So when we get off the show today, I feel like one of us needs to comment in the comments and tag Bakery on State and say, "Hello, would you please help us out with this dessert bakery advent pickup for next year?"
Do it. I will leave that in your capable hands.
Oh,
Hey, before the show, Kristen, I was talking to Jason. I said, "Hey, any suggestions for topics that, you think it would be cool if Kristen and I talked about today?" He's like, "Yeah, you guys should talk about how cool your husbands are."
we do have cool husbands.
We do.
What do you think is the coolest thing about Jason?
Just about everything. I'm in love with
That's
his
a cop out
everything.
answer.
Okay, so not only am I, like, physically attracted to him, but I just think he's the whole package for me, right? Like, he's my person, right? So when he's operating in the world, talking to other people, interacting with us, I just love him, right? Like, I love his integrity. I admire him, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you're in awe of him.
Yeah, yeah. And then
I love
he
that.
reciprocates that love and it just grows and grows.
Yeah, I mean, if you weren't physically and emotionally attracted to him, I would be more concerned on your behalf. I
But
feel the
isn't
same
that
way.
funny? Yeah, tell
No,
me.
I was just gonna say, like, I feel the same way about Doug. He's definitely my best friend. Like, I don't when I have something I need to work through, like, he is my person. when I'm excited, I want to celebrate, he's my person. Like he's who I want to always share that stuff with, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I just was thinking when you were kind of queuing that up, I was thinking about this goes way back. When Doug and I first started hanging out, one of the things he would do was he would follow me to where I was living in Milwaukee to make sure that I got home, and then he would drive home after. And I remember, people being like, "Who is this guy? What's going on?" But I was like, that in my heart felt like, who does that?
Yeah.
Right? Who like this is there's some and I mean, I guess you could have thought maybe he was a stalker or something, I don't know, but I felt like there was genuine concern for my safety and he wanted to make sure I got home. And so he always did that, and I thought like, wow, that's the care and concern is really sweet. So I always like that is my reference point when somebody says like, why is he so awesome? Like that care and compassion is what I think about.
Yeah, really going, like, above and beyond with the
Mhm.
love.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
and I
I
don't like
totally agree.
I don't know if he loved me yet even, but I think he was genuinely concerned for me. Now I get the benefit of the love and the concern. So it's like doubly bonus awesome.
So what do you think he would say when he watches this show? When he
About
hears this?
himself?
Hearing this about himself.
Oh, I think he would we have talked about it before because because sometimes you reminisce, like, what was it that first, and I think those are some of the first things that I was paying attention to is like, how does he behave as a man adult, right?
Right, right.
Um, is this somebody that I would want to raise children with? And like, is he going to continue to be, just all of that kind of stuff you, as a young female, in your mind is swirling. I was trying to be logical about it. And he was very caring and compassionate. So,
I love it. And I think it's also still important too, right? To, even this conversation that we're having, to have that positive, loving talk amongst each other as a couple, right?
right, right. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning, Pat.
I think the other thing, I just read a book. I think it's called The Go Getter Marriage. I'll take it in here. Um, One of the things they talk about in there is, like continuing to share gratitude or things you observe about that person and not just like, you're so awesome. Cause that's not like, that's nice, but it's not specific, right? Versus saying, like, I really appreciate when you do X, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
being able to give like your partner that feedback and showing gratitude and consistently like feeding into the relationship, it's a way that like you can continue to support and feed the marriage. And I always thought that was cool. And like it seems like a no-brainer, but a lot of people just don't take the time to do it, I feel like.
I love it. Well, and I also find that one thing I really appreciate about him is not only do I get that from him personally, but like if we're out in the world,
Mhm.
he's always talking positively about our relationship or about me,
Mhm.
right? Where I've seen or I've observed some people when they're out will make like snide remarks about their partner or kind of cut them down. And I'm just so thankful that we've got that like mutually supportive.
Yes. Yes. I agree. These are all good things. Who knew we would be talking about marriage this morning? And I mean, I'm just going to look at who we have hanging out here. Chris and Rick have been married a long time, right?
Yeah.
Pat and Bonnie, they're my neighbors and they've been married a long time. So if you guys have any advice or tips, I know Pat gets kicked out. He goes to lates every morning for breakfast so Bonnie can drink coffee and sleep in. Like, I'm not going to say that there isn't also something to that.
But isn't that showing love in a way too, right? Like absenting yourself to give your partner the time that
Yes.
they need to be their best.
Yes. 100% yes. I think that is completely accurate. And yeah, so tell us, like anybody else, chime in. 'Tis the
Yeah.
season to be jolly. Tell us about your partner and how you give them love and support.
I love taking pictures of my partner too. So here's a picture of Jason just hanging out. It just felt so warm and fuzzy.
Oh, look at your nice, like, can we just go back? This is like a scene that would be on the night before Christmas book or something like that.
You're too nice.
Cute little like reindeer stocking holders and wait a second, is there a stocking missing?
It's on my lap because I was eating my chocolate.
Thank goodness, I was worried somebody was on the naughty list and their stocking didn't.
I didn't know you would call that out. That's funny,
What
busted.
kind of chocolate were you eating?
It was a Tony's. Like, have you ever had Tony's chocolate? So it's like thick, and it's interesting because it's like the pattern, it doesn't break just like a Hershey's bar does, but
Yeah.
it's so good. And the particular one I was eating was a like a gingerbread chocolate. It was like a holiday
Ooh,
themed one. Yeah, it was pretty good.
that sounds amazing. Speaking of gingerbread, um, Aldi, maybe other places, but I saw it as a seasonal thing at Aldi. They have gingerbread Belvita, like breakfast biscuits. I don't know if
Oh,
you eat those. Like, I love those with coffee. I think they're kind
I
of
do
like
too.
crackery, kind of like a graham cracker, but not because they're crunchier than that. But they have cinnamon and blueberry normally, but yeah, they have gingerbread. And so we bought a box, and I haven't gotten to try one yet because my little middle is stealing them because she says they're delicious. So doesn't that sound like so seasonally delicious?
Yeah. Do you think it's only out seasonally?
I
Because
do.
it's gingerbread? Okay.
I wish it wasn't though, because I think that would be delicious all year round.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I like the Belvita. I usually get the blueberry kind, and it's almost like having cereal, but without the whole bowl and
Yeah.
spoon.
Yeah, I think they also have orange cranberry is another seasonal flavor that sounds
Oh,
yummy.
yeah. All right. It's on my
Okay,
shopping list.
guess what chocolate I got in my stocking?
Oh, tell.
I'm gonna give you hints. Let's see if you can think of it. It looks like a peanut butter cup, but it's not.
Looks like a peanut butter cup. Is it a mallow cup, like with marshmallow?
Mhm. Mallow cups, and they have like I think there's a little bit of coconut in the marshmallow. It almost tastes like toasted coconut. I cannot get enough of these. I think they're so delicious. And Saint Nick was kind enough to bring me multiple, like, jumbo packs that have, like,
What?
pack. So I've been, like, trying to eat 1 a day.
So you're able to like pace yourself and kind of stretch it out.
I am trying. I'm not gonna say by any means that I am having success with that, but I am trying.
I am happy to report that I still of that one candy bar, I still have a portion of it left. But
Nice.
I discovered that somebody else was eating my candy bar. That's kinda
Somebody
cruel, isn't it?
in your stocking,
I know.
it's like a rule violation.
Like, when your stocking comes, when it's filled, do you then take everything out and put it somewhere else? I usually just leave it in my stocking until it's consumed, right? Like, I always just go back to the stocking.
We do, except if our fireplace is on, then things get melty in the stockings. So
Mm.
sometimes we will clear them out to put things away. The girls this year, this has not ever happened before. They each got Pop Tarts in their stockings. And each one of them had different flavor. One had chocolate, one had strawberry, and one had maybe s'mores or something. I don't know.
Mm.
And so those are being hoarded individually by the children. So that is like, no, they're staying in the side. I'm not sharing those. That's so even if we were to empty them out, I have a feeling like they would get permanent marker labeled or something in the pantry so that nobody else is allowed to eat them.
Is there any swapping that goes on?
There was swapping. There was swapping this year. Saint Nick also brought peppermint patties to our house. And
Ooh.
apparently there's children that like them and not like them, and then some of them got Skittles, and so there is trading going on, which I'm fine with. I don't care. As long as they're not fighting, it doesn't makes no difference to me.
So was the Halloween candy gone before Saint Nick came?
I sent Halloween candy with Doug to work, a 2-gallon Ziploc bag, and I said, "Here, can you please take this? We don't need it. We're never gonna eat this." Um, so yes, we did clear it out beforehand, but yummy. You know what else we had in stockings this year, which I have not had in years? We had the Little Debbie vanilla Christmas trees.
Oh, that's a thing?
We each got one. Yeah, it's a thing? Ah, does that mean you've never had one before?
Yeah.
Tina, we must get one for you
Is it like a cake?
with cream in the middle, and it's white frosted, and it looks like a Christmas tree on the outside.
I've never. Where? Hmm,
I mean, I think most grocery stores and places would have them.
okay.
I'm
So,
gonna
like, in
find
the same area as Little Debbie, like, Nutty Bars, which I'm a huge fan of.
yeah. This is gonna be my life's mission for the rest of this week is to find you a vanilla cake Christmas tree just so you can savor the moment. Like, it might have been Sunday. Doug was, like, looking into stocking doo doo doo, and all of a sudden he was like, "Woo!" I was like, "What? What is so exciting?" And it was his Christmas tree cake. He was very excited
Oh,
about it. Mhm.
I can't that's so cool. I love learning new stuff. I love knowing that there's, like, new surprises out in the world.
I mean, I think they've been around a while. Again, I'm not gonna convince you they're good for you, but it is the holidays. It is nice to make them, so
I love that there was a little joy when he looked into his stocking.
mhm. Yeah, it was super
Audible joy.
it would be like what a kid what a kid would do, but, I was like, what did you find? What are you getting?" "Ooh, it's your cake, yum."
Did the girls have them too? Did they like them?
Yeah, I think they were gone first. I think they, like, ate them for breakfast
Oh,
on
wow.
midnight fifth, like, the morning of the 6th, the next morning when Santa came, they were like, "Ooh, we're eating this right now." They may have even eaten the cakes for breakfast and then a Pop-Tart for snack at school. Again, there's no rules when it comes to the holidays, right?
Do they like Pop-Tarts untoasted, or do they have to be toasted?
They have not been toasting them, but I don't buy Pop-Tarts, like, that is not a thing in our house. I'm not a fan of eating that kinda stuff normally, so it's like a super mega treat that they got them.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they've been just, like, eating them in the car, taking them for snack, and eating them raw. Does that sound right?
I don't think I've had a Pop-Tart since high school, but I used to take one in the morning while I
Yeah.
was driving to school, yeah.
What was your favorite flavor?
Um, hmm, I mean, have you ever met a bad Pop-Tart?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. My least favorite part is the edge, where
Yeah.
there's no frosting and there's no center, right? Like, I could do without that.
I actually think I used to like, my favorite would be the s'mores,
Oh.
but I do think you're right. I think I would eat the outside edge off first because the s'mores, when it tastes like graham cracker, I would eat the outside out, and then it would just be marshmallow and chocolate left in the middle.
See, s'mores, I do not think that variety existed. There was chocolate, there was strawberry, there was probably, you
Brown
know,
sugar.
yeah, some other brand or 2, but there was nothing like the fancy combinations didn't exist back in the '80s.
I know that I definitely had s'mores in high school, which is not all that many years later than
But probably enough.
you. Just close that, it's fine.
Like, when were Pop-Tarts invented? I wonder if I was, like, on the bleeding edge of when Pop-Tarts came into existence.
Do you know what? I'm gonna Google it right after we get off the show, and I'll post the answer. When did Pop-Tarts come out?
See, this show is
Further back than
interesting and educational.
I know. They were just talking about, have you ever had a toaster strudel?
Oh, I haven't, no.
Like, these were, like, pastries, and then there was, like, a little pouch of frosting in you would squeeze on, so you put them in the toaster and then squeeze the frosting on. I can remember
Ooh.
that. Again, not something I buy for just overall health reasons, but, like, I think it might be worth you trying at least one time.
I mean, it is the holidays, right? It's all sugar plums and sweet treats, so
I had my first peanut butter ball this week. If this doesn't sound counterintuitive, I don't know what is. Somebody brought them to the gym for a post-workout treat, and I'm like, I feel first of all, it was amazing. Second of all, I'm like, I feel like I'm undoing everything I just did. It was really good.
Well, doesn't a peanut butter ball have, like, protein in the peanut butter?
I'm gonna say yes and go with that. I like it.
Well, this has been so much fun, Kristen. Merry Christmas. I'm looking forward already to next time. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Take care. We'll see you next time on Coffee with Kristen and Tina.
Have a good day, guys.